intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and as you probably can tell here, there's another time we're with this masked fellow. He's just going to become the usual guy here. He's either going to be a co-host or a co-co-host. Either way, you're probably going to be seeing his face or not seeing his face, but at least hearing his voice a lot more often. So all jokes aside, how we doing, Mad Max?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You know, just hanging in there, ready for this card this weekend.
It's stacked. It's a stacked card.
Yeah,
top
you know
to
how
bottom.
it goes. Can't all be UFC St. Louis.
Man, I'm not going to lie to you. When I looked at this card, I was like, dude, am I crazy, or is this rivaling the stackedness of UFC 300? It's like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, back to back.
1-1.
Come on, 1-1 there, bud. I mean, it's money in the bank, kid.
Yeah.
Again, all jokes aside, if you could just picture with me, close your eyes with me here, viewers, and imagine your mom or your grandma, whoever your favorite cook was growing up, right? Like mine, I'm going to say my mom for sure. Imagine your favorite soup that she ever made, right? Maybe it's a potato soup. Maybe it's a gumbo. Maybe it's a sauce piquant. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, I want you to picture how good that soup is. That's UFC 300. Okay? And then now imagine Campbell's Chicken Noodle Soup, Campbell's Soup Company. They hit up your mom and they're like, we're going to do a canned rendition of your world famous soup. Okay, honey bunny. Just add 1 can of water and we're going to be good to go. That is what we got this weekend, you guys. It is the Campbell's condensed soup version of a stacked UFC card. And what I mean by that is it's still good. We're still going to eat that shit up. There's good proteins in there. There's good fats in there. There's just good stuff in there. But I digress. They can't all be UFC 300s. They can't all be UFC 301s for that matter, or 302s. Which, gosh, I'm hoping that co-main event still sticks through. That would really suck if it doesn't now that I bought tickets. Yeah. I truly feel like all the fights are falling off now that I bought tickets to the goddamn fight card. But we won't go into that because we have a hell of a fight card to break down here, guys. We got UFC Vegas 92, aka UFC Fight Night, Barboza versus Murphy. Honestly, pretty solid main event. We're gonna go ahead and start at the bottom though. Obviously, we got to address the elephant in the room. I wish I had an elephant sound effect queued up. I should probably do that for next time. I can't do it. That's a much better one than I did. Mine just was basically a mouth fart. So, I mean, the elephant in the room here, obviously, is that we were supposed to get Tim Elliott versus Tatsuro Taira on this fight card. And boy, that would have been fun.
I didn't realize that was this card.
Or a co-main event. That was this card, my guy.
Gotcha.
Poor Tatsuro, man. He's like a rock that's gotten thrown really, really hard into a nice water surface here because he's just skipping along dates. He's gotten 4, I think, to my knowledge, dates so far. And hopefully we'll settle on this Alex Perez fight. But I digress. The Tim Elliott fight versus Tatsuro Taira is not only not happening this week, it's not happening, period. And instead, we get to start off with Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Lil Monster Demopoulos. She has arguably the best energy out of any fighter you'll ever meet. Truly. Also, probably my favorite I met a fighter story I'll ever have in my life. Simply because when I met her for the first time at International Fight Week, I met her twice. I took pictures with her both times, had to. But the first time I met her, one of the MMA Twitter / MMA media guys, I think he works for maybe Cage Side MMA, but he basically had gotten stuck being the, hey, can you take a picture of me and this fighter guy? So he took pictures of like Vanessa and like 6 other dudes. And I was like, hey, can you take a picture of me and Vanessa? Got my picture taken, got my phone, shook her hand, gave her a big hug. Super, super nice lady, great fighter. And then the best thing happened after meeting the fighter. A little old lady that was probably at International Fight Week with her grandkids walks up to me and asks me if she could take a picture with me because she thought that I was the fighter taking a picture with Vanessa.
Damn straight. There was so many jokes I was gonna make on the end of that, but that was just fine.
Dude.
Yeah.
This little old lady is like, would it be okay if I got a picture with you? And I was like, absolutely. So we take a picture, we do the fucking fists together.
That's dope.
And I still to this day, Mad Max, I kid you not, I will randomly be laying in bed and think, God, I wonder if she showed that picture to her grandkids or her kids that she was at UFC X with. And they were like, who the fuck is this?
I hope that's what happened. You should have offered to like sign some shit for her. Be like, you want me to autograph anything while I'm
like, is this Wish.com Jason Mayhem Miller? Like, who the fuck is this guy, bro? Like,
that's fucking awesome. You should have jumped into Vanessa's arms afterwards also and see if she could hold you.
Oh my God. Okay. Guilty confessional time here. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I literally was praying. A big part of me was praying that she was going to do that to me. So
I gotta be honest, I fucking hate that she does that, but I get that her fans would want her to do that. So like, I get it. I can't stand this chick.
Man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am a big fan of it. I love it. I think it's very like 90s movie-esque. And Vanessa, if you're listening, please, if you are at UFC X this year, we got to get a video of you jumping into my arms. I promise I can hold you up. Okay. And I won't feign like I'm getting hurt or like something bad is going to come from it like DC, as much as I love DC. So with that being said, we have a fight to break down, guys. Vanessa Demopoulos versus Emily Ducote. Mad Max, are you betting on this one at all? You have a dog in this race or what?
Just looking at it earlier, I actually think these chicks are relatively close, like in ability here. I don't think Emily Ducote or Ducote, however you say her last name, is a more than a 3-1 favorite. I do think she's a little more technically sound than Vanessa Demopoulos. I think Demopoulos gets by a little bit more on her physicality than like her technical ability. And then taking a page out of our boy Nano's book, I gotta mention Emily's 5 years younger as well. So tributes to you, Nano. That was for you, buddy. Miss you. So I would lean towards Emily. I don't necessarily think that she's a 3.5 freaking favorite. So maybe get your decision hedges in there. I do think it'll probably go the distance. The over was like -500 though. So what are you gonna do there? Let's do some hedges on this one. Some decision hedges. You can get Mrs. Demopoulos at freaking +450. So maybe put like a half a unit on her, and then maybe slap like 2 units on Emily by decision.
That is
at
just
-200.
disrespectful. +450? Jeez.
Yeah, that's a little wild. What about you in this one?
I mean, at least on DraftKings Sportsbooks, it's +300. Bo Daddy, what are you doing? I mean, like that +450 is just disrespectful. If I'm betting on this one, which I'm not sure if I will or not, if I'm being honest with you, I would probably take Demopoulos. I think Demopoulos is just a more well-rounded fighter in this one. Emily Ducote she's good enough. She's done well enough, has Gordinia. She just hasn't done enough to really impress me. She's a bit of a grindy, windy decision style fighter. And I mean, for my money, if I'm betting on a decision win, I'm betting in favor of Vanessa. Vanessa's really game, dude. Like, she's really tough. She's really strong, and she's really durable. I know a lot of people might shun it and might look down on it, but having that stripper background, it does require quite a bit of cardio, right? Like, you're out there for sometimes multiple songs, which is like multiple rounds in a row with no break in between. You're doing a lot of excessive cardio, climbing up that pole, and you're doing a number of different things. I know you're laughing. I know you're taking this as a joke, and I don't mean it as a joke, my guy. Like real talk, obviously the pole's not striking back, as we say. But I digress. Still very transferable skills, a lot of acrobatics, a lot of flexibility, which, as you know, as the residential grappler of the group here, calling a spade, flexibility is key in these types of things. So
I'm not flexible at all, actually. I'm stiff as a board. The physicality
you're like
is
super fucking strong.
You know that, yeah. I'm the stronger, definitely, but I'm stiff as a board, unfortunately.
I'm stiff as a board too, bro, and I'm like the Muay Thai guy, and Muay Thai is all about flexibility too. So, fuck, that's why we're probably part of a show called the MMAnomaly Show. We're fucking a couple of anomalies, but
a couple stiff boards. I agree on the physicality though. Like Demopoulos, clearly she's gonna have like body strength
stronger.
and stuff. That's her core.
She's way stronger,
stupid.
I think.
Yeah.
Dude, her core seems so strong. Like
she's
her
a little ball of
entire
muscle.
midsection. She's a literally what you were saying about the dude last week.
Rebetsky.
You were wrong about. Rebetsky,
I'm gonna start bringing up every bet that I've gotten right that you've gotten wrong. I'm just gonna start doing that. We'll spend a whole episode on that.
No, you've gotten more right than I have, for damn sure. I'm not here to argue that.
Rebetsky, I feel so bad for that dude.
You called me out on the age thing, and I left it out on purpose, because sometimes age doesn't really matter, and in those times, it's usually the best situations.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and here, I don't think it's not enough of a difference. And I think Vanessa,
that's the thing. It's like 5 years.
Yeah.
If we're talking like 20 to 25 or 25 to 30, I feel like it's a bigger difference than it is from 30 to 35. As weird as that sounds.
No, I
agree. Feel like mentality wise, like at 28 up, you start to kind of catch up and have that like meeting point, right? Like the two alien ships are passing each other and they're going to meet halfway. For some people, physical prime starts at 30. Some people it starts at like 28 because they matured faster, right? I would say those people are probably female. And then for other people, like super duper males, physical prime happens at like 33. It took you a minute to fucking mature.
Yep.
This guy.
No, I'm been in the same boat. Agreed.
But for those people, they probably had like a decent time with their physicality coming up to that point. And that's why it took so long for that to plateau and happen and meet. But again, man, I feel like Vanessa's got this one. I don't know that she gets the finish though. She's more of a grindy style fighter herself. If gun to my head here, I'm betting on this one. I'm gonna say Vanessa Demopoulos decision.
Especially for the odds.
Especially for the fucking odds.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy. That don't make any damn sense.
Come on.
It's a way
450 to win by decision.
Yeah.
What is the double chance TKO and decision? Oh, it's less, plus 350. Okay.
Yeah, because
I just saw the TKO was plus 2,000. I was like, maybe it's fucking big boys.
God, could you imagine? That'd be nuts.
I kind of want to just do like a fifth of a unit on that. I mean,
and the odds are stupid enough. You might as well.
Odds are so stupid. Fuck. I'm gonna hold off because I have to stick to underdogs this week.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to stick to underdogs this week. Trying something new. I told myself I'd do it for like 2-3 weeks here.
That's a cool little app.
It's been pretty fruitful so far, my guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been pretty happy with it. Actually logging in right now. I don't know why it keeps logging me out. That's my only gripe with it. It's logged me out like 3 times. And it said my GPS wasn't working. But yeah, I placed some bets. I've got some in. I'm also. Did it update? Oh, well, let me do that. Just kidding. Damn. I think maybe that game has already started. I was gonna do like a 3 horseman draft here from different sports.
I haven't looked at any of the other sports yet. Just MMA.
The NBA one is for someone that doesn't even watch NBA, it's pretty intoxicating.
That was going to be my next question was, do you even watch it? Like, or do you watch like baseball or anything?
I can't tell you that I watch NBA, but I know that my girl's brother does, as does like my one of my best friends, Drew, that comes over for a lot of the fights. Shout out, this is Drew, Mystic Drew.
Yeah.
He's a big Warriors fan. Okay. Mayor's brother is a big Lakers fan, I believe. And so I try to watch when they watch or when I'm hanging out with them. I've just never really gotten into it. I love the dunk competitions. Love watching those things. Those are a lot of fun, dude. Or even the 3-pointer competitions. Like I watched the 3-pointer competition 2 years in a row. And because of that, I'm a Klay Thompson fan. Like I've watched maybe like 5 NBA games and 3 of them were Warriors games because I'm like, let's go Klay, dude. Play all day.
Oh yeah.
Just saw him making those threes and I'm like, that is a fucking gift. Like the way that he just put, because like a lot of people you can see the gears turning when they're making things happen. With him, you think he's sitting on the toilet taking a shit. It's so natural, bro. It's just like he's just like, oh, here's
very
the star
Curry-esque.
Boom. Yeah, he's on the same fucking team as Curry too, which is just terrifying.
Oh,
like,
okay.
He's fizzled out in the last couple years, but man, when I went like I say when I started watching, I've watched all of like 5 NBA games in their totality, but from everything I've seen like 3-4 years ago, that guy was a fucking monster. And now he's just fizzled out. He's kind of like Tony Ferguson, right? Like he's a boogeyman to an extent. And now it's like, oh, how the mighty have fallen, right? So I don't have Vanessa Demo on any of my picks.
Oh, on underdogs? Gotcha.
I don't. I'm not on underdogs. And it not letting me do it? Okay, it is letting me do it. So the game hasn't actually started yet. It starts in 3 minutes. So I'm actually going to hammer this down right now.
Yeah, do that shit now.
I'm going to put 1 unit on it.
You were talking about the 5 years being more important in different places, and I agree 100%. And it would be even more so apparent if it was like 35 to 40. Like that's
100%.
Even more as you get past it.
It's funny because like if you're under 30, if you're between 30 and 20, it matters significantly in my opinion. And then once you're over 34, everything over that, it's so fucking significant.
Yeah.
34 to 39 is that is a fucking time warp of a difference, bro.
Yep. And then you got the freaks like fucking Diego Ferreira. My guy. Who turned back the clock. Well, and I think we might have that case this weekend. We'll get there, but we'll
get there. I think I know who you're talking about too, but we'll definitely get there.
Yeah. I kind of thought we might be on the same page on that one, looking at this card.
So we're both on Vanessa. It seems like we're kind of against the age gap here. Mm-hmm. Both stand at 5'2". There is a bit of a reach discrepancy in favor of Emily Ducote, but I just don't think that she'll be able to utilize it enough with the style of fighting that she has. We'll go ahead and move into the next one here. Alatang Hailey coming in against Clayton Rodriguez. Man, this is going to be a fun fight. If you're a Dragon Ball Z fan, probably going to look like a Dragon Ball Z fight. These guys are bantamweights. They're going to move very, very fast. Both stand at 5'4". A half inch of reach separating the two. You got to think these guys are just going to be throwing hands and feet and everything in between. I'm a bit torn on this one, if I'm being completely honest with you. If you ask the odds makers, they tell you that Clayton Rodriguez is going to end it or going to win it. I don't know why, man. I like Alatang in this one a little bit. Are you with me on this?
Yeah, I'm leaning that way a little bit. Yeah, it's at plus 130. It's in my mind, this is literally a 50-50 fight.
And his nickname is the fucking Mongolian Knight. Like, what a nickname. I love a good nickname.
The Mongolians have the best nicknames. Mongolian Murderer, the Mongolian Knight. Like, they have the best nicknames. They're fucking awesome.
I'm not here to fight with you on that, bud.
They're awesome as shit. They're good fighters, too. Seems like they're durable. Seems like they get in there. I kind of get the impression that they train hard as shit. Like, they go in there and just beat the fuck out of each other. Because these guys go in there and just go
I don't know. I don't think that they understand what 50% is. Kind of like the Dagestani people that I've had the pleasure or displeasure of meeting.
Yeah. That's all that kind of same style there. It's like train at 100%. It's very shoot the box. Like they
shoot the box,
beat the fuck out of each other. And
if you get knocked out in sparring, it's just another fucking Tuesday, you know?
It produces results. It's just I think it takes years off your mileage there. Like takes years off your lifespan.
Truly does.
The under in this one though is kind of more interesting to me than either guy. You can get the under 2.5 at plus 170. Figure 2-1 odds at a finish effectively inside the distance. You could probably hedge both guys if you really wanted to. Yeah. Oh, well, dude, never mind. Do that. Alat Lang plus 350, Rodriguez plus 375 inside the distance. Put a half a unit on both of them. You're going to come out real far ahead so long as they get a finish. I'd probably play that.
Absolutely. I mean, that's probably the move, right?
Matter of fact, I'm going to write that one down so I don't forget it.
Yeah, definitely write that down. But I mean, as you were saying, right? The Mongolian Knight, the Mongolians, first and foremost, they do have the best fucking nicknames. Now, if we're looking at what's happening in this specific fight here against Clayton Rodriguez, it's a solid matchup. I typically trust Tapology fan votes more than I trust Vegas odds, because Vegas is really good with money. Tapology is really good at what the fuck they do. And all their fans literally just watch MMA for the most part. So if you look at this one, it's a lot closer than Vegas would have it sliced. 52% to 48%. 52% in favor of our guy, Alatangali. So, guys, I'm going Alatangali, the Mongolian Knight here. Not only that, but I think he gets it done by decision. And if you look at those odds, if we look at, let's see here, winning method for Alatangali, decisions plus 300. Now, question is, do you want to play the risky odds here and take him at plus 300 for decision, or do you want to just take the money line at plus 124? Still pretty juicy. And then you're not pigeonholing yourself into, oh, what if he gets a finish, right? He still is pretty live for a finish. If you look at his career, he has just as many finishes as he has decisions. He has 5 KOs/TKOs, 3 submission wins, and 8 decisions. I don't know how bad you are at math, but 5 plus 3 is fucking 8. So he's 8-8 there as far as decisions versus finishes. So maybe take the plus juicy odds at plus 124 on Alatang Heli. I think that's how you say it. I think you're supposed to say it together as kind of one name. But I digress. We'll go ahead and move into the next one here. We have a women's strawweight fight between Piera Rodriguez coming in against Ariane Carnelossi. This one is going to be very, very interesting. If you look at Vegas odds again, looking at the fight lines, we got minus 218 favorite for Piera Rodriguez and plus 180 for Ariane Carnelossi. I'm not going to spend a ton of time talking about this one. I'm just not. I think the smart move here is probably the over 1.5. If you can find decent odds on that one, even if you can't, it's pretty much a guarantee. Even at minus 525, you put 1 unit on that, it's going to get you 1.19. You're still increasing your money load. And I simply just don't think this fight finishes within 7.5 minutes. Mad Max, do you have any change on this one? Any dog in this race? What are your thoughts, man?
I pretty much think you nailed it there. I would say Piera is probably the better fighter, probably the more technical fighter. I think Carnelossi has gotten by on steroids and physicality. She's on the bomba. It's pretty fucking obvious for anybody who knows what they're talking about. I'll play my usual on this one, decision hedges. I agree 100% on decisions. You got me second guessing my inside the distance hedges on Clayton and Alatin Gayle now, but I do like the decision hedges on this women's fight as well. I think I'll be playing that a lot this card. There's at least, I think, four or five women's fights, so I'll probably be playing it on every one of them.
Yeah, you pretty much guessed what I was planning on sliding in here. I think, and again, I'm not 100% decided on whether or not I'm going to play this one or not, but I digress. I do think that the over on these fights, if you parlay them together, the 3 women's fights, it might make a lot of sense here, right? I mean, even if we do it on all 4 of them, let's see, does it make sense? It doesn't change the odds that much. We go from minus 128 to minus 102, but still, 4 women's fights, all over 1.5. Turn 1 unit into almost 2. And realistically, for this Angela Hill one, I mean, there's a couple of these that we could really go over 2.5 on once the odds come out for those. As of right now, I'm only seeing odds for over under 1.5 on a lot of these women's fights. But again, as they come out, if there is an over 2.5 and that's a bit juicier odds, I mean, I say milk that, man.
I got 2 of them and they're both minus 500.
Oh,
yeah.
For over 2.5?
Yeah, that's decision hedges, you're going to get closer to plus money on those.
That's on the women's fights?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I think everybody on this card, I think a lot of people are expecting it to be a long, boring night. Unfortunately, it's going to be a lot of decisions. The Vanessa Demopoulos fight over 2.5 is minus 500. The Pieta fight, I think, is a little bit better than that. It's minus 260, so you're all right there. The Luana and Angela Hill is minus 500.
I mean, that one, that's one of the ones that I think really, if we had the over 2.5, those would be the ones to go.
And then the Gatto one is minus 150 over 2.5, which I think that one's actually relatively decent as well.
Relatively decent for sure. Yeah. I mean, again, there's a lot of like random fights on here that I do think it makes sense to just bet the overs on. I think it's a safer bet on this one. Like you were saying, it's going to be a grindy night. I'm not going to add a whole lot on this one. Like I said, I think the over is probably the safest bet. Gun to my head, who am I going with? I'm going with Rodriguez. I think Vegas did get it right on this one. And we'll go ahead and move into the next one. We got a middleweight bout between Abus Magomedov coming in against a wily veteran named Wiley Alves. This is a very intriguing matchup. Abus Magomedov coming in against a fairly tough test for the young man against Wiley Alves. Now, toughest test to date was obviously Sean Strickland. After that, he had Caio Barallo, who we were learning more and more might be that fucking guy.
Yeah, that might have been his toughest test.
That might have been his toughest test. I mean, we just know Sean Strickland is kind of one of those dudes. I don't know, man. I mean, Abus is a beast. Don't get me wrong. He's been around for a long time. He's been around the block. He's also on a 3-fight losing streak, and 2 out of those 3 losses were finishes. And let's be real, Nicholas Dalby probably would have been a finish too if he was a finisher, but he's a grindy fighter. So it is what it is. Give me Abus in this one. And not only that, give me Abus by finish. I think he gets it done. Yeah, give me Abus by finish in this one. I don't know how he gets it done, but I do definitely think that he gets it done inside the distance. What are you thinking on this one, Mad Max? Do you think Abus is going to get fraud checked, as the kids are saying, or what?
No, I think you got it right. I think the odds makers have had it right on these last 2 fights as well. They had Pierre at almost a 2-1 favorite, and they've got Abus at almost a 3-1 favorite. I even, on my little notes for this episode, I have probably lean Abus inside the distance. He's minus 165 there. Worley is a good fighter. He's got good low kicks too, which I think Abus might be susceptible to, some calf kicks and things like that. But his chin isn't super great. And there's moments where he kind of just like sits right in the fucking pocket and doesn't do anything. He just sits there. And I don't know what the hell he's doing, if he's like waiting for a chance to counter somebody or something. But it's like, if you're going to do that, you need to be moving or have your hands up or something. And he'll stand there with his hands like this in the pocket and then get punched straight down the fucking middle and then sat down. It's just like, what are you doing, dude? That he's got a lot of pop. But I just don't think he's as gifted as Abus. I think he muscles a lot of his shots. I think he fades. I think Abus fades as well, unfortunately, but not to the extent Worley does. I also think Abus is quite a bit bigger. I think he probably cuts a fair bit more weight as well, so I think we're going to see a power discrepancy. I think Abus kind of manhandles him a little bit, would be my guess. But aside from that inside the distance play, I don't see a ton of action on this one. And I do think it'll be a fun watch, though. Like it'll be a banger, but one of the better fights on the card, I actually think. Potentially. What's the under on this one? Actually, now that I'm sitting here saying this out loud, this might be worth playing the under.
Yeah, I think that this one is definitely going to be one of the funner ones. The under is minus 320, under 2.5. Over is plus 225. I actually played the over on this one on one of my bets on underdogs, but it's over 6.5 minutes of fight time. I thought that was an easy money play.
Yeah, agreed. Barely over a round.
Barely over a round, a minute and a half over a round, and that's at even odds. I'll take that all day.
Yeah, I like that.
Even stacking odds. I've got a fully time-based parlay, and then I've got a handful of other kind of random parlays here.
And that's on underdogs,
two-time
right?
parlays. Yeah, on underdogs.
Okay.
I have one full finisher parlay. I have 2 full-time parlays, and then I have
I don't remember what the hell I have at this point.
Oh, and then I have 5 straight picks for 1 pick parlay. And then I've got my 3 horsemen parlay, which I can go ahead and call that one out now since I'm obviously picking Magomedov here. So I have him at getting a finish. I have Nikola Jokic, an NBA here, the fucking unicorn himself, getting 29.5 or more points. And then I have Alexander Usyk getting more than 1 knockdown or getting a knockdown or more. That one will turn, let's see here. That'll turn 1 unit into 8.4.
Okay.
Not terrible.
No, not at all.
Terrible. So just need basically 1 dude from 3 different sports to pull some shit off, Nothing crazy.
Nah.
Moving into the next one, we got Tamirez Vidal coming in against Melissa Gatto. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I got nothing on this fight at all other than the fact that Gato means cat in Spanish, and I'm a big fan of cats. Got the decor in the background. Got Catman right there. Got Captain America right there. And got 3 cats outside the room, probably dying to get in so they can get early dinner. I digress. I got nothing on this one, man. Are you placing any bets on this fight?
I'll throw a decision hedge on it probably, just for grins. I don't know shit about him. I shouldn't say I don't know shit about him.
What up, Marlene? Welcome to the chat again.
Marlene, welcome back. What do we got on decisions? Oh, the over 2.5s minus 150. Worth playing.
Definitely worth playing.
Tamirez by where are we at? Decision or technical decision plus 425. You can hedge it with Gatto, but technical decision plus 160. Decent odds there. I put like a quarter of a unit on Vidal, and then maybe a good like half to maybe an eighth or 8/10 of a unit, on Gatto. Then you're still only getting just a little bit of a unit at risk, and you're gonna come out ahead either way. I'd probably do that.
Funny, yeah. That's a smart money play, man. I think that's a safe bet and it's a smart bet. So if you want those good decision hedges, always listen to the man in the mask. MadMaxMeridian's got you covered, folks. I'm going to stay away from this one. I am going to avoid betting on this one like the plague, so that way hopefully it ends up being a good fight and I can just enjoy that. Moving into the next one, we have Umar Sai coming in against Tuco Tokos. Possibly one of the funnest names I've ever said in my entire life. Tuco Tokos. I'll be honest with you. I struggled to have a pick on this one simply because I don't know enough about either guy. I'm curious if maybe you can enlighten me or educate me on this, other than the fact that, Umar Sai seems super fucking well-rounded. 4 wins by knockout, 3 by submission, 2 by decision, and his opponent standing across from him, mainly a finisher, 6 wins by KO, 2 by submission, 2 by decision. Both dudes are coming in here on a bit of a win streak. Obviously, one more of a win streak than the other since he's fucking undefeated and sitting at 9-0. But I digress. The other dude's on a 3-fight win streak is Tuco Tokos. And, he's no scrub, obviously. He only has 3 losses, and he hasn't lost in some time, not since 2020. Other than that, though, I don't really have a lot on this one. Again, do you have any kind of nuggets to share with the crowd here? Any dogs in this race?
Just the one thing that stood out to me earlier when I was looking at it, I was going back and forth on SureDog and kind of looking at their past fights. And one of them, Umar Sai, was fighting over in KSW, which is actually a pretty legit organization. And a bunch of those dudes are a little suspect onto their, how clean they are. So I think he's been fighting some freaks over there in KSW. I don't have a dog in this race per se. Obviously, he's got the clean record, 9-0. They're both relatively young, both 6'4", so they're like good size light heavyweights. I don't know. Tokos trains out of Killcliff though, so it's like, all right, he's with a solid team. Umar, seeing out of France, it makes me wonder. I didn't look into who he trains with. Is he with Cyril? Do you know by chance? I'd be curious about that. No, I don't. I'd say I'm probably just gonna leave this one alone. This is a card. it's like it's not got a ton of name value, which can go one of two ways. It could either be a really like kind of shitty lackluster card, or what ends up happening a lot of times is a lot of these guys end up kind of making a name for themselves on these cards, because it's like you're not really paying attention to any one person on the card, so somebody has a chance to stand out with a good performance. So you can kind of just chill and watch this card, not put a ton of action on it, which I won't be having a ton of action, and just like see who catches your eye. Like watch for some talent on this card. A lot of people are kind of coming up.
Absolutely. A lot of room for the underdogs to show here. And we love a good dog. We love a good underdog more than anything else. So definitely a lot of room to shine here. And to answer your question, I don't think he is training with Cyril Gana. He's at Bulgarian top team is what it says here.
Okay.
Even though he is from France and fighting out of France, he's at Bulgarian top team. And then his opponent is fighting out of Killcliff, which I won't go on that rant for the 47th time here on the show. Not a big fan of Killcliff MMA. Yeah. Hooft's name isn't far off from Hoover, and he sucks just about as much as a Hoover. So we'll go ahead and jump into the next one. Before I go off on a rant and a tangent there. We got Tom Nolan, not to be confused with Chris Nolan, who did the Batman movies. Great director. Tom Nolan and Interstellar. Yeah, that's actually one that I haven't seen that I need to watch. I know, dude. I know, dude.
That's far and away his best movie. Not even close. It's not even close. Inception is great. Memento is fantastic. Dunkirk was excellent. Inception, like probably second best. Interstellar, dude, it's not even close. It's so good.
Wow.
So good. Christopher Nolan's my favorite director.
I'll have 10 days to figure out shit to do.
Yeah,
so
dude. Wow.
check that out.
Wow. I'll get sidetracked. Moving on.
Yeah. Victor Martinez coming in against Tom Nolan. 13-5, coming in against 6-1. This is a big age gap. One of the bigger age gaps that we've seen on the card. 32 versus 24. 6'2" versus 5'7". But the reach, it's only a 3-inch difference here, guys. But 3 inches can be quite a big difference. I took the lead on the last one here, I think. Do you have a dog in this race? Do you think the old dog gets it done, or do you think Tom Nolan's coming in here to really make a name for himself at just 24 years of age?
I do think Tom Nolan is going to win. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's far and away the more athletic fighter as well. But the odds are a little goofy. As a 5-1 favorite, that's a little nuts. But I just don't know what else I would play, though, on this one. So I guess I'm going to leave it alone. Maybe Victor Martinez can come out and surprise us. You could always throw like a third of a unit on him just for the upset. This is obviously the most unpredictable sport pretty much out there. There's always room for an upset, but I don't know that I would even bother with that on this one. I do think Tom Nolan's probably going to walk through him. But inside the distance for him's even a -300. And I try not to touch anything above -200 unless I'm just like dead certain that that's exactly how it's going to go. And I can't say I very often feel that way.
I mean, that's fair. It's usually pretty hard to feel that dead certain, especially with MMA. It's like the most volatile sport in the world to bet. So makes sense. Dude, I have that same exact fucking beer glass.
No, you don't.
I swear to God on my life.
This is Oktoberfest from St. Charles, Missouri. If you've got this
just
one, you're going to
kidding.
blow my
I saw
mind.
the Sam Adams logo. I have the Sam Adams Oktoberfest from California.
Hell yeah.
Literally got it from one of the bars I managed.
Wow. They're like the little water cups around the house now.
It was the same exact one. I was like, dude, what are the fucking...
I wonder if they make them like, the stock like this, and then whoever buys them, they just put their logo on the other side. So these bad boys are probably floating everywhere.
I'd assume
they're great
so,
for water afterwards.
Oh, dude, they're fantastic.
Best water cup of all time.
For so many things. Most of all, water. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think Tom Nolan is the better fighter here. I think he has more paths to victory, and truly, I think that he gets it done by knockout. Guy is strong as fuck. Probably a reason his nickname is Big Train. 4 out of his 6 wins are by way of knockout. And if you look at the most recent ones, all 4 of his more recent wins are by finish in the first or second round. So I do think that Tom Nolan, Big Train, he's going to come out here. He's going to come out strong. and he's probably going to look to the big train hurting on his opponent out there on Saturday night. So go ahead.
I was just thinking if Jordan Levitt's knocking you out, then Tom Nolan's probably going to sleep your ass.
Probably. I mean, we all know Jordan Levitt is good. I think it's going to be the first round, to be honest.
You think? You can get plus money on it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the first round just because the way that he's looked, he's a quick starter, man. And his opponent is not. He's simply not a quick starter. So,
yeah.
Recipe for disaster coming in there against Victor Martinez. And you got to think after that loss against Nicholas Mota, he's coming out here with something to prove. However, the only backside to that is he got knocked out in the first minute against Nicholas Mota. That could make him come out and play a little bit more of a defensive game. We've seen that happen before. I don't know. He's kind of like a Poirier style fighter where you could tell him not to get in a brawl 187 times. The second he eats a fucking left hand, he's like, "Oh, we're fighting, huh?" And then they're just marching to the fucking middle. So I truly think that this is probably going to be no different than that. I think he's going to come out there, look to get it back, get that get back, so to speak, and probably see it to go down in the first round. Now, with that being said, guys, we are getting right through this thing. We are already into the main card at this point.
It's time
for the first main card fight. We have San Diego's very own Angela Overkill Hill coming in against Luana Pinheiro. I know there's an 8-year age difference. Luana Pinheiro is the young up-and-comer. She's 31 years of age against 39 years of age. We just talked about this. I'm going to go against my better will. I'm going to go against my better judgment. And I'm going to go against everything that we just fucking said. And I'm just going to say it right now. Angela Overkill Hill gets the win. Yes, I'm biased. No, I don't care. I also think she gets the fucking finish. I'm going crazy today.
Oh, okay.
I'm not calling the round, though. Fuck that. I think she does get the finish, though.
Interesting. Okay.
I had to throw that on some underdog bets. Spicy.
How do you think she gets the finish?
I think she's going to get a ground and pound finish. I think she's going to end up getting a random head kick that's going to drop Luana, and then she's just going to do like some quick Donkey Kong like fucking hammer fist to the head. Nothing that's going to do a shit ton of damage, but something that's going to make a ref be like, "I've seen enough. It's over."
I wouldn't be upset if it happened. That's for sure. I'm an Angela Hill fan all day long.
Big fan of Angela. I think she's just good for the sport, and she's super fucking active.
Yo, my God, maybe one of the most active fighters, like, period. She's also, I always think that she's like one of the few who is still developing at her age. Like, even at 39, she seems to still be getting better, which doesn't make a ton of sense. Like, she's just, I don't know. I really like Angela Hill. I think she's got the right, like, outlook at it. She kind of looks at it as a path of growth, the whole thing. Like, she's constantly adding new wrinkles to her game. She's working on her weaknesses. Like, used to, you could pretty much just grapple her and kind of smash her. She's actually got a good takedown defense now. She's adding some submission to her games. It's like, damn, all right, Angela Hill's
better
just getting
every
better.
single time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And 39.
You say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but I mean, Angela Hill is just here to fucking disprove that methodology.
Luana cracks with her. She's got power, but I also noticed she wings her punches like crazy, and I think Angela Hill throws them a lot cleaner. Yeah.
Angela has very classic style with less power, whereas Luana has power with less technique. And
I thought
across
Angela
the distance,
yeah.
I think Angela's going to start to take it over, man.
I kind of saw maybe the clinch game happening. Angela Hill tying her up in the clinch and beating the shit out of her. Like, she's got a good clinch game.
Body
knees
when they're in the
and
clinch
shit.
are fucking gross, dude. Though,
Yeah.
and she's so small, and I know that they're like they all weigh the same fucking amount. There's weight classes, duh. But the way that weight distribution works, folks, means that we can both weigh the same thing and be shaped very differently and have very different skills and assets and attributes. Angela Hill, she's built so like muscular in different areas that like her elbows, her knees, everything about her just looks very sharp and just defeating. Like if she has you in a clinch and she's landing knees, probably feels about the same as like a 235-pound man doing it to you, bro. Because the knees, they're not as big. They're slicing into your fucking guts. And like, I'm sure you've been there. That shit doesn't feel good.
She's got a good striker's build.
She does. She
She's
does.
built for
Like
striking, like for sure.
I was gonna say, like if I'm a Muay Thai coach and I dreamed up a women's fighter, she'd probably look a lot like Angela Hill.
Yeah, agreed.
And if I dreamed up a male fighter, he'd probably look like that weird shaped fucker that we were talking about last week, Sean Woodson.
Yeah, no shit. That dude's just the wildest. I also noticed the experience difference here. Like Angela Hill, 29 freaking fights.
This is another
Luana,
time.
13.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that's
mean,
just an insane
we're talking a 2-to-1, over 2-to-1 deficit here as far as experience overall. And if you just look at the come on, dude. One fighter has more losses than the other fighter has wins or total fights. I got to go Angela Hill here. Give me the experience. You can't buy that, and you can't replicate it no matter how much of a spring chicken you are, bro.
Yep, I'd agree with you 100%. I'd probably play maybe again decision hedges, just play it safe. The inside the distance is tempting, especially because Angela Hill's plus 650 inside the distance. So maybe play heavy on the decision hedges and then just sprinkle a tiny little bit on inside the distance, and you'd still probably come out ahead. You just would have to do the math on it, which I know a lot of people don't want to do. Every time I tell people about like decision hedges, they're like, well, you got to actually do the math on it. I'm like, yeah, but it's really not that hard if you sit there and break out. They have betting calculators online. You just punch the shit in. Like, it's not really that hard, or if you can do a decimal.
How bad do you want to make some money, kids?
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much it. In this one, you can definitely get some really, really solid odds, though, just in general, if you wanted to take some, fun little Angela Overkill Hill. On the straight fight line for this one, you can get Angie Overkill Hill for, she's actually a favorite now. What the fuck? Has that always been the case?
No.
I was going to say that line
shifted
shifted
a little bit. Yeah. If it was very, very close, or she was a slight underdog, I thought, when it first opened.
She was definitely an underdog. What the fuck is happening right now?
I think people are kind of seeing the problem here.
I'm happy about it. I'm very happy about it. And you can get her on underdogs as a little spicy. I think like plus 3.75 with a finish. I don't think that's the worst play you could do, to be honest, this week, folks. There's a lot worse plays you could pick. But I digress. I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you want to make money, probably just follow Mad Max's picks. If you want to stress the entire night while you're enjoying the fights, this guy. Follow this guy. All fucking day. And you might hit 1 out of 6. And when you do, it'll at least cover the other 5. It'll cover the other 5. And we'll have money to play with next week. But if it's a 7-hour fight card, you will sweat for like 6 hours and 45 minutes. Like, this is simply a fact.
Facts.
This is how we get down on Saturdays here, folks. So moving into the next one, this is one of the ones that I am most excited about. Adrian Yanez coming in against Vinicius Salvador. I'll let you go first on this one because I feel like I took a lot of the thunder on that last one, but I definitely have thoughts on this one. Let's hear it.
I kind of feel like they're trying to. Yanez had a lot of hype, a lot of steam behind him, a lot of attention as well, and I kind of feel like on this one maybe they're trying to reestablish that to some extent. They're trying to set him back up after two losses that maybe a lot of people, myself included, didn't expect. The Jonathan Martinez one I thought was very likely. The Rob Font one kind of caught me off guard. Like, I thought he was a good matchup against Rob Font, and he kind of went out there and got fucked up. But in this fight here, I think he's going to have a speed advantage. Obviously, his boxing is fantastic. I'm not sure enough that he's actually going to pull it off now at this point, though. I do think that they're trying to set him up for that. I just don't know that he's going to deliver. Maybe it's because I'm a little jaded on him now because of the 2 times recently that he hasn't delivered. So I'm trying to like set aside that part of it. But just for the odds and everything, I don't know that he's worth playing. I don't know that he can deliver. If you're going to play him, you're going to have to find a prop. Maybe go inside the distance, like minus 145. I know that's what they're hoping will be the outcome, or at least I think they are. I think Vinicius, though, is worth a little bit of a sprinkle on some of these odds here. Plus 500 inside the distance. Like, we've seen the dude shit the bed before. Why would it? Against a guy with 13? What is it? Doesn't he have like 13? Yeah, he's got 13 knockouts and 1 submission. Every single fight he's won by finish. So I think it's a possibility. The They're both young. As a matter of fact, Vinicius is younger than Yanez. So it's like, all right, he's young, he's spry. They've got comparable experience. I think it's worth maybe hedging, maybe playing like an under. This is a fight, though, but I personally will most likely just sit back and watch the damn thing. It's gonna be fireworks. Lay it on me. What you got?
Well, when it comes to this one, I think that Adrian Yanez is going to get the finish. And I also think the fight's going to last less than 10 minutes. Those are my two big bets on this one. I've got two different parlays that this is a part of. Adrian Yanez, less than 10 minutes, and Adrian Yanez over a half a finish, as they call it on Underdogs, which is basically just glorified saying he will get a finish. I actually have that Adrian Yanez under 10 minutes on two parlays. That's how confident I am. Yeah, I just think that this is a get back fight for him. As you stated, Vinicius is a finisher through and through. Everywhere that the fight goes, he does have the ability to finish. He is a knockout artist. And you got to think he's probably going to be looking to do just that, right? Fenomeno is his nickname, and a Fenomeno night is what he's hoping to have. I just think that it's not going to go well. CJ Vergara was landing on him. Victor Altamirano was landing on him. I don't think it's going to be any different when it comes to Adrian Yanez. I think that he's a very prolific striker. He's better than he gets credit for. And even with the bit of a layoff, I think he's going to come out here and get it done. I think this time has probably been good for him to heal. I've jumped into a handful of his Twitch streams as well. He seems like he's in a really good mental place for this fight. Give me Yanez for this one. I think he gets it done inside the distance and inside the first two rounds.
I like it. One of the ones on Underdog for him that I noticed that I thought maybe was worth playing was they had like their fantasy point ones, and it was like over 67 points on him. And I'm like, man, I feel pretty confident even in a loss he might get over 67 points. Like, yeah, he's throwing fucking bombs either way, and I do think that they're setting him up here for a big win. So it's like I feel like that's not a bad play there.
Yeah, those are the ones I want to get more into for sure. Those fantasy point plays. I feel like they're very, very smart if you know how to do it.
I did a couple of them on there. I think I have like 3 of them.
Nice.
One of them was Angela Hill as well, if I recall correctly.
Love that. I feel like that's one that actually has possibility to hit.
And hers was only like 48 or 50 points or something. It was super low. I saw that and I was like,
she lands at a high volume too. Yeah, that's super dumb. So moving into the next one. The next one is, again, one of the ones I'm more excited about here. We got Demba Garimbo coming in against Ramiz Brahimaj. This fight is going to be fireworks. Demba Garimbo, he's someone you just want to root for. You want to really, really get behind this guy just because he's a good dude, right? Fighting out of Kalami, Johannesburg, South Africa, born in Bakita, Masvingo, Zimbabwe. He has won a Fight of the Night bonus, spent all of that Fight of the Night bonus building water wells for safe water consumption back in Zimbabwe, where he came from, in one of the villages he came from. The Rock bought him a house after hearing his story, thought he was such a good guy. And then while he was on the mic this week for Media Day, he digressed that, or divulged that his coach's, I believe, mother passed away from cancer. He knew that his coach's mother was battling cancer, but had no idea how further along or how far along it was or how sick she was. And she passed away literally like 2 hours before the young man went on stage to answer questions on Media Day. So fighting back tears, failing to fight back tears. Mm-hmm. He said he's going to go out there and get a finish on Saturday night. And God damn it, I believe it, man. Emotion can definitely backfire on you in a fight. But this young man seems like one of those people that's able to harness it and just use it as a straight up weapon, as a tool. And I think that that's what's going to happen on Saturday. He's coming in there against a very game Ramiz Brahimaj, who can definitely put it on him. And if he does, by golly, he's going to build a name for himself in one fucking night. But it's not going to be an easy outing. Again, I think Demba Garimbo not only gets it done, but I think he gets it done via knockout. And so do 68% of the people that voted on Tapology. So I'm not alone, right? I think Demba is very strong. He has the ability to finish fights, but I think this fight's going to last a little bit longer than 2.5 rounds. I saw that over under for 9 minutes on underdogs. I had to go for the over 9 minutes. I do think it's going to be a little bit harder to put away Ramiz, but I could see him getting a finish in the last minute of round 2 or the first 3 minutes of round 3. That's where I think this finish happens, is in that 4-minute realm. Mad Max, what are your thoughts on this, man?
I think you said it well there. I don't have a ton to add on it. I just kind of, the finish is where maybe I go a smidge different on it. Or I think Timba's a better athlete. I think he's clearly the better striker. This is almost a little bit of an old school throwback kind of matchup here, where it's a guy who's a little bit better in one area against a guy who kind of specializes in another. Looking at the odds, I would maybe play like a Brahimaj by submission, just because that's, if he's going to win, generally speaking, that's how he's going to do it. You get him at plus 175, but then hedge it with like a Garimbo inside the distance at plus 175. Just, you're getting almost 2-to-1 odds on both of them, just to kind of spread it out there. I don't like going into the fights. Like, I love the motivation behind it, but I don't like being in that emotional headspace when you're in such a high stakes game as MMA. Like, I just don't like it. I do like Garimbo a lot, though, and I think he's very gifted. But Brahimaj is no fucking, like, he's no punk. Garimbo's been subbed before, if I'm not mistaken here. Yeah, he's been subbed twice. I thought it was only once. I think there's a possibility of it. I think he trains with the right people. If I'm not, isn't he the one who, like, Colby Covington was giving him his meals and stuff like that? Like, doesn't he train with that whole crew? So, he's training with high-level grapplers and shit like that. But, I mean, that said, Colby Covington's been tapped before. So, I also think Brahimaj is he's got some serious submission game. So I'd probably personally hedge it, just because I like to have as much coverage as possible on a single bet, especially if I can get high plus on it. I mean, you're going to come out with a unit on almost either side, because it's damn near 2-to-1 odds. So it's like that's literally playing the same as playing a money line even bet, except for you're getting double the coverage. So why would you not do that? It just literally requires you to do a little bit of extra math. So I think it's going to be maybe one of the better fights of the night, though. This one has like fight of the night written all over it. I could see some bonuses going around.
I was going to say, this is either going to be a fight of the night or performance of the night bonus. I would bet whatever my winnings are on that. Like, I know this is going to be fireworks. Whether it's fight of the night or performance of the night just depends on, whether or not both guys show up. I know at least one will, though. I just don't know which side it's going to be on. That's the terrifying thing. Now, this next one, the line that comes to mind is a line from, many movies, right? And that line is, I've been hurt before. And I'm ready to be hurt again. We got Chaos Williams, a.k.a. Kalen Williams, coming in against Carlston Harris. I mean, a little bit of a discrepancy here as far as the experience. 19-5 against 14-3. Also a bit of an age discrepancy, 36 versus 30 years of age. When it comes to everything else, virtually identical. 6 feet tall, 76 inches of reach versus 77 inches of reach. Mike Goldberg would say everything else is virtually identical. But I digress. I got Chaos Williams in this one. I think he's the better fighter. I think anywhere this fight goes, he should be able to win this fight. He should be able to win this fight. The Ox fighter, Chaos Williams, again, very well-rounded. 6 wins by decision, 6 wins by knockout, 2 wins by submission, can get it done wherever it goes. His last 2 losses, to put it into perspective, his only 2 losses in the UFC are to Michel Pereira and Randy Rude Boy Brown. Like, come the fuck on, guys. These are not terrible losses. Randy Rude Boy Brown is an absolute stud. And Michel Pereira, come on. He just gets better and better every single fucking fight. He's like wine or whiskey. Just getting better with age. So with that being said, you look across from him, and Carlston Makombik Harris, he's a beast as well. If you look at his loss in the UFC, his one loss, and I know this isn't a huge name, so maybe you've never heard of him, but Shavkat Rakhmonov, if that rings a bell, that's his only loss in the UFC. So pretty tough. Has wins over Jeremiah Wells, Jared Gooden, Impa Kasagnai, Impa Kusagna is doing big things. Just won $1 million in fucking PFL, folks. If you're paying attention, again, he's got wins over noteworthy names, but I just can't get over it. I just can't get over the win over Alex Morono. I can't get over the win over Abdul Razak Al Hassan, who has one-shot power in both hands. I can't get over the win over Matthew the Jedi Semmelsberger. I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel like Chaos Williams is just a better, well-rounded fighter, and I think he's going to get a decision win here.
Man, this is another one that I think, I mean, even the odds makers have it literally almost a toss-up. Like, it's almost a coin flip here. I think Chaos is one of the more physical fighters in that division. Like, the dude's just a fucking beast. You see him literally like ragdoll people, not even using technique and shit sometimes. He's just like chucking dudes around, smashing people up. Like, he's clearly just like the most explosive dude around. It's ridiculous. Carlston Harris, I'm not quite as familiar with him as I am with Chaos, so I feel like part of me is just leaning towards Chaos because of that familiarity. I've seen Carlston's last 2 fights, but I can't really remember the Shavkat one for whatever reason. It's been a minute since it happened, but it's not been that long ago. I need to go back and rewatch it. It's a fight I will probably leave it alone. I was leaning towards the under, but then looking at the amount of decisions that both these guys have, like, a lot of their outcomes have been decisions in the mix of their fights. So maybe, I don't know, I'll just sit back and relax and watch this fight. Like, why force it? It's going to be a fun matchup. Chaos, I mean, the name implies it. He pretty much always has fun fights, so it's like, fuck it, I'll just sit here and enjoy the thing.
Fair enough. I mean, with Chaos, it's going to be a good time.
Just to be an antagonist, I'll play Carl. I'll go with Carlston though, just for the sake of the show. But I ain't gonna.
We love to see it. We love to see it. Not even a shot.
Oh, I'll bet that on him. We can bet that.
Let's go. Shot bet on Chaos. We love putting a shot on Chaos.
Plus, who knows how much his head's in the game? This dude's selling real estate, and he's
so all over the fucking place,
working out at Club Fit and all kinds of goofy shit. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Yeah. Shot bet on Carlston. It's done.
Shot bet on Chaos. Let's go.
All right, down, so don't forget.
And in the main event of the evening, guys,
It's time
for Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. The Miracle. Man, I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. I have a feeling you know where I'm going, and I have a feeling for once when it comes to age, we're going to be on the same side here, bud.
Yeah, I think this was the one that maybe we were alluding to earlier, where we were thinking age might not be quite as much of a factor, at least in this fight. Edson's aging like a fine wine. The guy is going down in weight, getting more muscular. These Brazilians seem to be able to pull off the impossible sometimes and just defeat Father Time, or at least, put him on his toes a little bit and give him some pause. I think Lerone Murphy is a very physical fighter. I think he's very good. I think he's got a lot of power, a lot of finishing power. I just don't know that he's fought a dude quite as good, as savvy in the striking, and as fucking fast as Edson Barboza. He's just so explosive. He's so fast. He also has like a pretty diverse arsenal of attacks, and it's not like he's not spamming shit at you either. It seems like he kind of will lure you into a false sense of security, and then it's a giant spinning kick to knock your head off into the bleachers. Now, I don't necessarily know that that's how he's going to finish this fight. My pause for concern here is the blueprint to beat Edson has been out for quite some time now. Like, it's been out for a couple years. So it's like you would think Lerone's done his homework, knowing that he's going to at some point probably fight this guy. And then obviously for the camp. So it's like if he knows how to beat Edson. It's just a matter of whether or not he can do it. And I don't know that he's ready. I don't know that he's ready for old Edson. This dude's a beast. He's a vet. He's got a shitload of experience. Like, I mean, just a metric ton of experience. I'm going Edson here, especially for the underdog money. Like, it's a toss-up fight. You might as well get the better, return on your bet. Now, whether our decision inside the distance, it's gonna be a 5-rounder, so your odds for inside the distance are increased. The chances for that outcome, given that you have 2 extra rounds to see it happen. But I don't know. Both these dudes got quite a few decisions under their belts as well. Maybe you can help me out on the finish and how it goes down. Since we're agreeing on the guy, what's your take on the outcome though?
So my take on the outcome, first of all, great breakdown, man. Just the well of experience here is the big thing. I think decision's probably the safest bet. Lerone is hard to put away. We've seen it in the past, but his opponent is equally as hard to put away. If you look at Lerone, he's had 0 losses. He's never been put away, right? He's put away 7 of the 13 people that he's fought. The other 6 he's put away by decision. And I mean, he's pretty back and forth, right? Like he got the round 2 knee win over Makwan Amirkhani. Makwan was actually doing him pretty dirty in that first round, if I remember correct. He hit a beautiful double leg on him. Hit a nice turnout single leg, if I remember correctly. And again, I could be wrong on this. This is just like, I'm a big Makwan Amirkhani fan, and I very vividly remember this fight. I was very upset when he came out and ate that knee in the second round. Mm-hmm. But again, like this is not a fight that was going in his direction before then. So you look at the next fight, he fought Gabriel Santos, and that was a split decision win. And then after that, it was Josh Kulibau, and it was a unanimous win. So again, he has gotten better since his fights, right? Was losing a fight, came out and got the flash knockout, got a split decision, then got a unanimous decision. I simply don't think he's fighting the same caliber of people he was fighting. If you barely edge out a knockout win that you were losing the fight overall against Makwan Amirkhani, probably not going to beat Edson Barboza. It's just a simple fact. You look across from him at the people that Edson Barboza has been fighting. Edson Barboza, Sadiq Youssef, Billy Q, Billy the Squid, Bryce Mitchell, Giga Chikadze, Shane Burgos. Oh, and he also has a dominant unanimous decision win over Makwan Amirkhani before Lerone Murphy did it. I know Lerone Murphy's nickname is the Miracle, but I'm going to go ahead and give him the same nickname as Lauren Murphy. We're going to call him Lucky Lerone Murphy here, because he's lucky to have this shot in a main event against Edson Barboza. I don't think it goes his way. Again, I say this as a fan, truly, as a fan of his. Yeah, I simply don't think it goes his way. I think Edson Barboza is going to go out there. He's going to get it done. But I will tell you, I think he gets it done probably via decision. Again, Lerone is not easy to put away. He's very, very game. I apologize if my shit's been cutting in and out. I didn't realize echo cancellation was turned on again. I fucking hate that StreamYard does that to me sometimes. I will try and do better at checking it at the beginning of the show again. There was like 2 months where it did not automatically turn that shit back on. But apparently every time I restart my computer, it does. So gonna get back to checking that. Cool. So yeah, if we're looking at the, specific decision only lines, not terrible. You get Edson Barboza at plus 180. That's not horrible. But I'm sticking to underdog, like I said. So
for a decision?
For decision, yeah.
I got him way higher by decision. Edson plus 450 by decision.
Really?
Yeah. Decision or technical decision plus 450. Inside the distance plus 240. Lerone Murphy is plus 175 by decision.
I got Edson Barboza plus 180.
Wow.
Decision.
That's insane.
And I got Lerone Murphy at minus 250.
By decision?
That's by it's a weird decision only thing. Hold on, I just found the regular decisions. I don't understand why they have 2 different subsets.
Something's not right there. Lerone Murphy by decisions plus 175.
Oh, here we go. Edson Barboza is plus 450 now.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't know what the fuck that is. That's weird.
What was it? Is it DraftKings?
It's DraftKings.
Yeah, probably some weird modifier or something.
That's why I'm confused that they have that. It's moneyline decision only. Interesting.
What? Yeah, that's
money.
I don't even
moneyline decision. Is it decision moneyline anyways? The fuck, I don't understand.
No, moneyline covers everything, so that would cover knockout and submission as well. But that's like giving you that's basically just playing decision only.
That's what I'm saying. What would be the point in doing money line decision only versus decision only?
Huh. Yeah,
In other news,
very
apparently
confusing.
Mike Tyson just said that Jake Paul said during the presser that he wants to kiss Mike's big juicy lips.
Whoa.
And Mike Tyson responded with, "That's funny because I saw a picture of him at 16 doing a little dance on YouTube, and for some reason I had an erection."
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
That's Mike Tyson for you.
That is
Par for the
Mike
course.
Tyson. That is definitely Mike Tyson.
It's prime Mike Tyson now.
Yeah. All we need now is for a woman to ask a question and him to say that he won't answer unless he fornicates with her, because that's what Mike Tyson does. Look, I only do interviews if I fornicate with the interviewer. So if we're not going to fornicate, I'm not going to answer any questions.
Dude's absolute maniac.
Honestly, Mike Tyson Prime is just something to behold.
So say the downside happens here and Lerone Murphy wins. How do you see that happening? Decision as well?
If Lerone Murphy wins, he's going to get a knockout.
Okay. So plus 285 on that.
There's no way Lerone Murphy gets a decision on Edson Barboza. Dude. I will die on that hill, bro. I just don't think.
Well, you might as well hedge him. Plus 450 decision and then plus 285 by KO. You're going to get real good return on that. Even
I
just
almost
the
feel like you
half
have to, right? Like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
that just feels like the way.
Not too shabby there. I definitely lean towards Edson. I might just play him money line if I am going to play on something, but I don't know. I don't know on this one. Again, not a ton of action that I'm chasing on this card. I'm going to be sitting back playing a lot of decision hedges, a lot of fence riding on this card, I think.
There's been a lot of fence riding on this card, but we're not mad at it. It happens, you know?
Yeah, especially for the betting aspect of it. Like, I pick individual fellers for the show, but as far as the betting goes, you just gotta play it safe. I think that's where people mess up and get discouraged and end up busting their bankroll, is because they do reckless shit. And yeah, you gotta get the most coverage you can.
I just want to tell you right now, I'm trending in such a good fucking direction to hit my Three Kings parlay. So the first leg of the parlay started at 5:30, which was just a little under an hour ago. So Nikola Jokic in the first quarter has already scored 11 of 29.5 points I need him to score.
Well, shit.
I mean, he's got, you know what I'm saying? If he repeats that for the next two quarters, he's going to be way over. And then other than that, we just need Alexander Usyk to get one knockdown and Abus to get a finish.
I think it's very good. So are you seeing Usyk winning that fight then? Let's fucking...
I really do.
That.
You know, we got to jump into that shit, baby. We got to jump into that. I got Usyk winning the fight.
Okay.
I got
Knockout?
Usyk winning the fight. I got Usyk. So, okay, I don't know if he can knock him out. I think he's going to knock him down at least twice. But Fury just seems so fucking impossible to put away. I can't in good faith bet my hard-earned money on him finishing Young Man. I just can't do it, Mad Max. But I will tell you, every time I've bet on knockdown in boxing, I've hit on that fight. I've only bet knockdowns in boxing 3 times. And the one time I didn't hit the knockdown bet, I bet on the winner straight, and I still made way more than I bet.
Oh, shit.
That was
I don't
Ryan
really
Garcia.
fuck with boxing too much. Oh yeah, Garcia. Yeah.
Last time it was Bud Crawford against Errol Spence, and Errol Spence had never been finished and never been dropped, and I bet that he was going to get dropped twice. I bet on the over 2.5 drops, and 50 into 800, easy money, bro.
Can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
I took Bud in that one, but I did money line. If I remember right, he was.
Oh
still a
yeah,
pretty
and that
heavy
was a good
favorite,
money
but
line
wasn't
too. I think it was still
terrible.
like a 300 plus money line, dude.
Yeah. For
You'll
boxing,
dude,
that's not. Yeah.
Mark my fucking words. You'll never get that line ever again in your fucking life on Bud.
No, the kind of.
Even if he fights Canelo, there's no chance they give you that line. You'll get like plus 150 best.
Let's see.
And if you get plus 150 on him against Canelo, Jake, I'm sorry, bud, if you're listening, take the line. Take the fucking line.
Interesting.
Because
I haven't even looked at the lines for the Tyson Fury fight here. What are like the money lines on these fellers?
So the money lines on this fight right now, let me pull up boxing.
Yeah, I'm switching over. Oh, damn. Nearly even money. Or it is even money. Usyk's even money right now.
It's the line is shifted. The line is shifted. Usyk was an underdog originally.
Wow.
Usyk was original. Let me go to Cap MMA. Those are the homies. Give them some support. They do a good job. I don't know if they do boxing though. Let me see.
I didn't expect the odds to be that close.
Their odds board is not updating right now. I'll have to ask them.
I need to pull up my underdogs too and see what we had on there.
The date on that one is this weekend. Let's see. Damn, I don't think they do. Cody Davis, Chase Gibson, Jake Woodley. Is Aspen Ladd fighting this weekend?
Yeah, for some other, I forget who it's for. I saw her weigh in at like 145 or
what
something like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Is that PFL?
I saw the thing on Instagram and I can't for the life of me remember who it was. It's somebody. I fucking can't remember. It's not like Bellator, I don't think.
Okay, so Fury was a minus 120 favorite.
Okay.
When odds opened.
Interesting. And what's
Usyk was plus 100.
Usyk inside the distance?
Yeah, Usyk was plus 100 apparently.
Usyk by knockout 1100.
Oy.
Usyk by decision.
Usyk is plus 100 right now. That's not terrible.
That's even money.
Even money.
Majority decision plus 2200.
Ooh.
Dude, that's why would you not play that? Play him majority decision and knockout. You're getting plus 1100 and plus 2200.
Oh no, they're giving me the same exact fucking bet as they did on the Spence one. I might have to take this. Alexander Usyk to win and over 1.5 knockdowns. I think that's the same bet I turned 50 into a fucking 800 on. The odds are way less juicy for this one though. 50 would turn into 375 on this one. You turn one unit into 7.5. I might do 2 units on it though. Not gonna lie to you. Fuck though. He needs 2 knockdowns for that to hit. That's fucking tough, bud.
Yeah.
Tyson's not a dude to knock down twice. I mean, there's only been one dude to make it that happen, and that was fucking Wilder Prime.
He's also got a hell of a size advantage here. He's very like
punching up's tough. I always hated doing that myself.
He could make this a wet blanket fight and potentially do a lot of laying, kind of Klitschko style on Usyk.
A lot of smothering, a lot of just clinching up and holding on.
Potentially,
but I just don't think that's gonna be the case. I think Usyk's gonna be hard to do that too, man. You watched Usyk fight before or no?
One fight, just his last one. That was it.
Usyk's he's a motherfucker, bro. He's like the homie that like when you see him across from you in sparring on Saturday morning, you're like, it'll be all right. And then like 2.5 minutes into a 5-minute round, you're like, I don't ever want to do this again. I don't ever want to do this again.
He's pretty good at catching coins too.
Great at catching coins.
I'm gonna try that here in a little bit. I'm gonna slap them all over my house. I already know I'm gonna be shooting.
I was gonna say do it away from the windows, do it away from the TV.
Yeah, they're going everywhere. I already know.
Leave your dignity at the door. You're definitely gonna lose it otherwise.
Did you ever do that other one when you were a kid though, where you would like?
Oh yeah, the on the elbow. Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, damn, dude, I haven't thought of that in 20 years. I haven't thought of that in forever.
Dude,
and as soon as I was like, man, that's a blast.
Seeing Usyk did it, I literally was like, that's some fucking blood sport shit though. Like the way that he did 6, it's like somewhere between Bloodsport and Hajime no Ippo. Like it's fucking wild. It made me think of the leaf scene from the tree. I don't know if have you seen that anime? Oh, one of the best animes of all time. If you're an anime guy, Hajime no Ippo. It's on Crunchyroll, completely dubbed in English now, and it's literally about a kid that's getting bullied, and he finds a random boxing coach that saves his ass one time, and then from then he just starts begging him to train him, and he becomes a professional boxer. And the boxing coach's first thing to him is like, you know what, kid? I'll make a deal with you. And he comes up to this like fucking tree and he punches the tree and hella leaves start falling and he catches like fucking 10 leaves as they're falling. And he's all, if you can do this and you can catch at least, I think it's like 6 leaves, I'll train you. And so the kid who like has shit for skills goes to this tree like fucking the next 3 days and he's all, poof, and he's like trying to figure out how to catch one and then go to catch the other one with the same hand. Let go of, like open your hand fast enough to catch one without letting one go. And the dude gets back and he's like, all right, coach, watch. And he does it. And the coach flips his shit because he misunderstood the instructions and thought the coach was telling him to do it with just his left hand. So he catches 6 falling leaves with just one hand. And he's all, you did that with just a jab? I'm definitely going to train you. What the fuck?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then homie becomes like a fucking monster.
So I've seen pictures of this and I never knew that that's what it was. I know as soon as you said the boxer, I've seen like the pictures of the character. I just never knew that's what it was.
I'm sure you've seen the meme of like, you'll never find people to hold you up, so learn how to hold yourself up. And it's like that boxer in the anime getting lifted up by like 6 ghosts of himself.
Yep.
Dude, watch the anime.
Okay.
Yeah, watch the anime.
What,
you're gonna get like 2 episodes in and you're gonna be like, where the fuck have I been?
What's it called again?
Hajime no Ippo. I'll text it to you.
Okay.
It's dude, it's so good. I didn't have a Crunchyroll account until I realized that whole series is on there, and I'm still actually binging the series. I'll probably finish it while Mare's gone. I have Crunchyroll specifically for that series.
No shit. Is it a big series?
There's a lot of episodes.
Damn. Okay.
But from what I've seen, it's worth the investment of time. Definitely worth the investment of time. So obviously we're both going Edson Barboza, it sounds like. And it also sounds like are we both going Usyk?
I actually might go Tyson Fury just to
I like Fury a lot.
Be the antagonist here. Yeah.
I like Fury a lot. But they're giving me these fucking plus 650 odds, man. I might have to do it. I might have to do the plus 1.5 knockdowns. Also, I don't know if you've seen his body composition is way different for this fight than it was for the Francis Ngannou fight.
Fury?
Yeah.
Oh, he looks 100 times better.
Night and day different. It looks like he didn't even train for the fucking Francis Ngannou fight compared to this.
Yeah, I kind of think he didn't train very much for it. He looks much better for this one. And I think that's honestly is the case of people kind of overlooking because of that a little bit, Fury. Like people are kind of forgetting what this guy does to other boxers. So we'll see. I mean, I could be completely mistaken here. This is anybody that is listening completely fade me. I've seen a lot of Tyson Fury and I've seen almost none of Usyk. So full disclosure, don't listen to me on this. I've always been super impressed with Fury. Given his
I love
size
Fury. I'm a big Fury fan, but Usyk's ability to catch punches and throw, like the old, you know what I'm saying, just bat one down and land one back. I think it's going to be a real fucking problem for Tyson Fury.
Interesting.
Because Tyson is a catch and puncher too. Like you see him do it in almost every single fight he's in. If you've seen more Tyson Fury fights, you've seen that happen from him before. I don't think we've ever seen anybody be able to do that to him and nullify him or shut him down to an extent. So I'm very intrigued to kind of see what happens when that is the situation at hand. And how's he able to overcome, adapt, change? But we'll definitely see, guys.
Shot bet then.
Might have to do a shot bet, yeah.
Want to do one for that too?
Let's do one on that too, man. Why not? Cool. So yours is on Fury and mine is on Usyk. And I'm going to do a little preemptive show closer shot here for you guys watching. Boom. We appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. And if you're drinking, do a shot with me. If you're not, do a shot of water, you fucker. Stay hydrated, huh?
Yeah, and for the next one, I guess Nano might be back by that point for the recap or whatever. So you ought to see if he's got picks or something to do shot bet with us.
I was going to say, I'm going to text him. I'm going to text him right after we wrap up right now and see if he has any shot bets that we can wager on here.
Yeah. This will be 2 of them. We got them. You got Chaos, right? And I got Carlston and Fury.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Those are the ones, baby. Those are the ones.
Perfect. And
to go through our bets, because it wouldn't be a no filter show unless we gave gave you our bets. My gosh. I have a handful now because I actually placed one more. So we'll go ahead and start at the bottom here. This is the big boy. All right. We have the overtime parlay. Or over-under time parlay, I guess we should call it. So we have lower than 10 minutes, Adrian Yanez. Okay? Lower than 14.99 minutes for Angela Hill. Higher than 9 minutes for Temba Garimbo. Higher than 6.5 minutes for Ebus Magomedov. And lower than 24 minutes for Lerone Murphy. That one would turn, let's see here, 2 units into 80 units. So, of course, I put 2 units on it. I had to do it. The next one, bit of a smaller play. Adrian Yanez, under 10 minutes. Angela Hill, under 14.99 minutes. Temba Garimbo, higher than 9 minutes. Abus, higher than 6.5 minutes. You might notice a bit of a trend. The only one we changed out here is lucky Lerone Murphy with Chaos Williams, higher than 9 minutes. Fifth of a unit on this one, okay? Fifth of a unit on this one is going to net you 8 units.
Ain't mad at it.
I'd throw a fifth of a unit on it. Why the fuck not, kid? That'll cover our spread for the rest of the fucking night, even if just that hits.
Half a unit or a fifth of a unit?
Fifth of a unit.
Gotcha. Fifth
of a unit to win 8 units. I'm happy about it, baby. I'm happy about it. Let's see. MMABG. Let's go. Make sure you subscribe to her YouTube as well. Am I the only one picking against Abus? I think you might be, honey. I'm sorry to tell you, but you definitely might be. I just think Abus gets it done. I think he's going to be the smarter fighter. Warley is very game, very strong. He's strong, he's long, as Sir Mix-a-Lot says. He's down to get the friction on. But I digress. I think he's going to gas out a little bit against Abus. I think Abus is probably going to go out there and land some really big shots. And I know you're thinking, well, Abus isn't like a wrestling Dagestan. He's not like the rest of them. And that's fine. I'm not a wrestler myself, and I am here to tell you, in Saturday sparring or Wednesday sparring, pick your poison, whichever day you enjoyed, I hate wrestling, okay? If I get taken down, sucks to get back up. Mad Max, you know, you've been there. You're a grappler. You enjoy being that fucking douchebag that takes people down and watches the life leave their eyes. For me, I don't know, dude. I feel like it's just as draining to eat a fucking uppercut to the chin. Or a left hook Larry to the chin. Super draining in a different way. But as James Franco says, same, but different, but still the same. So again, I think Abus is probably going to go out there, land a couple of nice little shots, and shut down the gas tank of the old boy Warley Alves standing across from him. He's going to take the war out of Warley.
A head kick.
Oh, I could see a head kick. I actually think it's going to be an up knee. I think Warley's going to shoot for a sloppy, lazy double and just eat one.
We're both going to be eating crow when Warley Alves wins. We're just like,
if Warley Alves wins, I'll do a fucking double shot on this show on Tuesday, you guys.
MMA BG for life.
I was going to say MMA BG. Ski Mask Gang. Let's go. Gang. I hope you're here for the Tuesday episode, because if Warley wins, I hope you pour up a shot in solidarity. I'll be doing a double for you.
Shout out to ADHD in here, too.
Shout out to ADHD MMA, always up in here. Let's get this money, boys. Let's go. All fucking day. Before we call it, I got to ask. Are you I know it's still months away at this point, but are you going to bet anything on this Jake Paul situation?
Ooh. I'd have to see what the odds are before I play anything, of course.
That's fair.
I feel like Mike Tyson inside the distance is probably going to be stupid odds, so you might as well play it. Just sitting here thinking about it now. Jake Paul inside the distance probably as well, unfortunately, because given that Mike Tyson's damn near 60.
Mike Tyson plus 130 money line right now.
Interesting. So by knockout it's probably going to be 200 plus. So I'd probably play a little bit on that, like a half a unit. and then hedge it out with the old Jake Paul inside the distance because it's probably going to be rigged anyway. We might get. Also, that picture I saw of him the other day looking absolutely enormous.
Thick with like 16 C's, bro.
Yeah, and I think he's doing that to absorb damage. Like, I think he's obviously like bulking up to take shots.
He's layering.
Yeah, which is smart. Like, the dude's not fucking stupid, unfortunately.
If it's going to be cold and stormy, what do? You pack on the layers, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Jakey Boy is doing, folks. He's not reinventing the wheel here, right? He's doing the right things, and it's going to pay off. It's going to pay off in the long run. Also, just a heads up, MMA BG, make sure you follow her on Twitter. She will actually be making a guest appearance on one of the episodes here in the near future. Her Twitter is MMA Based Goddess. Make sure you give her a follow. She's got some really fun videos on YouTube as well. And she actually did a really nice breakdown of one of these recent fighters that came in here against our very own Joaquin Buckley, Nursultan Ruziboyev. So if you want to learn more about him, make sure you check out her channel. Again, looking forward to having her on the channel. She's very knowledgeable in the sport as well. We'll probably have to have a little four-way, little Brady bunch set up here for that one.
A little Brady bunch set up.
Little Brady bunch, the little four squares.
Windows everywhere.
Yeah,
I have to throw her a follow. That's dope. Very dope.
Yeah, she's super dope. But yeah, man, I agree with you here. I think Jakey Boy is probably putting on the pounds to absorb a little bit of damage in this one. But also, if I'm being honest, you know me. You know I like to have a little bit of fun with it. I'll probably have to throw a little bit of a fuck Jake Paul parlay in there. Just do Mike Tyson and Amanda Serrano. Maybe throw like 2 units on that one.
And Darren Till.
Oh, fuck. And Darren Till? Just fuck boxing parlay?
Pretty much.
I'm not mad at it, bro. I mean, I might have to hedge that. I don't know if I'm willing to put 2 units on Darren Till, period. Even if they're little baby units.
That video I saw of him the other day gave me a
He
little
looked
bit of
good
hope.
in the ring.
Yeah.
He looked good. No, 0 head movement. But the hands were fast. That's enough, I guess. For Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. One of the homies I was actually watching Canelo in Mexico with. I hate Instagram. I love Instagram, but I hate Instagram for the DMs because, like, if you don't follow someone back, it sends their DMs to the fucking nether realm in this other box. So homie sent me a message like 2 days ago about the Darren Till versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. match. And I just saw it right before we went live. And I'm like, dude, I feel like an asshole because I didn't fucking respond to this guy.
Yeah.
I also didn't see that he had followed me because, like, I've got like 20 fucking sex bots that have followed me in the last like week. So I don't like check the followers every day.
Buried down there somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I know this one. This guy's actually not a sex bot. He's pretty cool. I followed him back. He's dope. Shout out Jake. But again, like, it's very cool to see like people that are not as into MMA that are like more boxing fans getting excited about this kind of shit, bro. Darren Till versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And mind you, he's not necessarily going for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That's fun. We love it when we can pull one to the dark side, so to speak.
It shows the growth of the sport as well. It's nice to see it.
It truly does. It truly does. So yeah, that's it for my over under bets. Again, the second one a little bit less heat, but it's also like a unit for 162. So we'll take it. Or a unit for 32. If we broke it down into units. So my last bet, other than the 3 Kings parlay, which Nikola Jocic's sitting at 16 points right now. Still in the first quarter, guys. That's gonna hit. Yeah. Oh man, we're feeling good about that one. We are feeling good. So we have some straight picks. Now, I didn't realize until this exact moment that the straight picks isn't winners on Underdog. It's significant strike count. Don't love that. Feeling less confident already.
What's the count on them?
Feeling less confident. There's a differential based on favorites. So Warley Alves has a plus 9.5 strike differential. I picked Abus. Adrian Yanez going against Vinicius Salvatore. Salvatore has a plus 16.5 strike differential buffer. So basically, Adrian has to outland him by 16.5 strikes. Edson Barboza has a plus 6.5 strike differential. So as long as he lands within 6 strikes of Lerone Murphy, I'll hit there. Timba, plus 4.5 against him for Ramiz Brahimov. And Carlston Harris, he's got a plus 7.5 strike differential. But if all of those hit, we'll be happy people. Okay, we'll turn 2 units into, let's see, 2 units into 40.
God. I'd be all right.
That's how we do bets on the No Filter Show, folks. Like, if I place 8 bets, just 1. That's all you need, baby. It's like, if God forbid we get into a little bit of fisticuffs. You beat me for 14 minutes and 59 seconds. All I need is 1, though. That's all I need is 1. Whereas Mad Max, he doesn't even need 1. He's just gonna fucking reap the leg or heel hook you or make you feel really, really silly.
Damn, now I'm sitting here looking at these significant strike ones and stuff. I'm going to be on this stupid underdog side.
Bro, I swear, I was like, and just like that, he got addicted to underdogs.
Yeah, I like it. It's got a lot of interesting plays that I wouldn't normally play.
Thank you. That's exactly what I like about it is like there's a lot of really, really fun plays that maybe you wouldn't necessarily think about. And then you look and you're like, these are like lightweight juicy. I might take these.
My only complaint is some of these are like hard to track live, which it's not a big deal. It's just you kind of have to wait till after the fight to see how the outcomes go. It's just hard, like the significant strikes and shit like that. It's a little hard to keep abreast of it live, but it's not. You're still rooting for the damn fighter either way. I don't think it's gonna. It's not like it's gonna affect anything.
It's not gonna affect your outcome, your enjoyment of the fight. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely understand the wrinkle. So guys, gals, fight fans of all shapes and sizes, that's it for this show. We will be back here on Tuesday afternoon to break down all the action, everything we went over, the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. So as we like to say here, 2 things. 1, if you're new, if you're old, if you're somewhere in between, make sure you do us a huge, huge favor. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications. The comments especially. My gosh, they're so good for the algorithm. You got to feed the algorithm. It's always hungry. And the other thing we like to say here on the show is this. Keep on going. Keep on growing. And we will see you next week.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.